Oh boy, I can't wait to read the new Green Lantern comic. You done messed it up! Green Lantern's light, more like Green Lantern's fright. God, I don't even know how I'm going to get this one started, everyone, but give me a moment and we'll figure this out together. So how's everybody doing? And welcome back to another comic book review. In this video, somebody put my background on, please. Real good. Thank you. Editor, put the book up. We are going to be talking about Green Lantern issue number 1, written by Grant Morrison and art by Nick Sharp. Now, a lot of people were very nervous when Grant Morrison was announced to be doing this book. Not too long ago, Grant Morrison said he wanted to take a break from comic writing to do Heavy Metal, a book that Michael actually reviewed once. Or was it Mike Talica? Anyway, so Grant Morrison's back into comic writing. And we were all kind of nervous when we heard it was Grant Morrison first. And then second, with the previews, the description of the book had us a little bit nervous. And the discussion about the book, where no known lanterns are going to be in this book. It's going to be a Hal Jordan only book. No Carol, no Kilowog, no Kyle. It's Hal Jordan. But there are other Green Lanterns in the book. Green Lanterns that we've never seen before. So basically this is Grant Morrison's way of expanding the Lantern universe. Now, before we go any further, because that's all preview talk, editor put up some preview art, and while the preview art's going, if you couldn't tell by now, we're going into spoiler territory here, ladies and gentlemen, and there's a reason for that. So, spoiler alert warning. It's no secret that I did not enjoy this issue of Green Lantern at all. And normally I don't do bad reviews. I choose to skip bad reviews altogether. I like doing reviews where I'm excited or very happy with a book. But in this case, I feel the need to do a review of this book. I was never a huge fan of Green Lantern. Going back to the early 90s, Kyle Rayner was my Green Lantern when I got into Superman. And unlike Flash, though, I always got a little giddy when we were doing an event and somehow Hal Jordan was back in the Green Lantern costume. So suffice it to say, when Jeff Johns gave us Green Lantern Reborn, I was super excited. And I bought the entire miniseries. This is pre-Dark Avenger C86 comic review time. This is before I even reviewed comic books. I was excited for this book, this mini, bringing back Hal Jordan as the main Green Lantern in the DC universe. So Jeff Johns gave us an awesome miniseries bringing Hal Jordan back, and then Jeff Johns took over for Green Lantern all the way through until New 52. And then we had, I believe, Rob Venditti started Green Lantern in the New 52 and went all the way through till Rebirth. Now, Jeff Johns did an amazing job going back pre-New 52, introducing the Rainbow Corps of Lanterns to us, giving us the Sinestro Corps War, giving us Blackest Night, one of the biggest Green Lantern crossover DC Universe events in history. And this is in my opinion. And then we got Rob Venditti, who brought in Sinestro, because Sinestro took over the book for a good bulk of the beginning of the New 52 universe, and then obviously Hal Jordan took the reins again at some point, and then we got into Rebirth, where again it was changed to Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps instead, or Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, where again Rob Venditti concluded his run. Now, from the New 52 started off rough, I will say that, and even in Rebirth, it was up and down, the Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps book for me. It was up and down, depended on the arc. But now, enter Grant Morrison and all that history now. And all of that history, even with the New 52, everything that happened in the Green Lantern books was in continuity. I went into this Green Lantern book and I didn't feel any kind of cohesive, and this is the next chapter. We went from Mogo being the main planet where the Green Lanterns were to New Oa. And we even opened up the Green Lantern book with brand spanking new Green Lanterns we never heard of before. And this one Green Lantern mained, I would like to think, a good portion of the beginning of the book. Now, this is an extra size first issue, by the way, everybody. We got this new Lantern for a while, and then, obviously, things happen to that Lantern. And Hal Jordan, apparently, is stuck on Earth because the Guardians are repairing and upgrading his battery. So he's a bum on Earth with a new girlfriend. So this is another problem I had. At the end of the Jeff Johns run, we got to see Hal Jordan with Carol in the future. Then at the end of Rob Vendetti's run, Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps, we saw Hal Jordan knocking on Carol's door, and we finally got to see maybe this is the beginning of their relationship being fixed. None of that translated into Grant Morrison's book. Going into Grant Morrison's book, I felt like I was going into a different point in time or a different story altogether. The one thing I got to say about Grant Morrison's book, while also being way out there psychedelic, it didn't feel like it connected with continuity whatsoever. It felt like it was its own. If this was a miniseries, if this was its own miniseries or its own universe, great, awesome. This book connected to nothing from Jeff Johns returning Hal Jordan all the way through the Rebirth, all the way through to not Rebirth, from New 52 to Rebirth to now. It basically, this is what I think happened. They had the meeting for the book, and everybody was sitting down, and Grant Morrison walked into the room, and when they were all going to be like, well, this is what we've done with Green Lantern so far, he looked down and said, with all that nonsense, we're going to do this. No continuity feel whatsoever in this Green Lantern book. No continuity whatsoever. And it was out there. Nick Sharp, you are an awesome artist, I will say that, but man, that was some psychedelic art. I will say that. I would love to see Nick Sharp on other books. Anyway, back to what's going on here. So Hal Jordan's a bum, and he's dating this other girl, Viv, who's going to be a character that we see now and we'll never see again. So whatever happened continuity-wise with Carol, that's out the window. That's gone. We don't even know why why they switched to New Oa. Or maybe they explained it and I missed it because of all the jumbled up craziness that went on in the book. But anyway, they're on New Oa. The Guardians look different. Everything artistic-wise looks very different when it comes to Oa and the Guardians and everything. Now, again, that's just an artist's take, so you can't really blame Grant Morrison or Nick Sharp. This is Nick Sharp's take on New Oa, the Guardians, whatever. There was no cohesive continuity with this book, though. So Hal Jordan, who was stuck on Earth, another Green Lantern crashes down on Earth, and look at this. Use my lantern and recharge your battery so you can go deal with these space pirates that are causing trouble in space. So he recharges his battery and goes straight off to New Oa, where the Guardians welcome him back and they talk about this space pirate nonsense. And it's at this point in the book where I'm like, so when do I start caring? When do I start seeing some continuity? When do I start seeing that this is a next chapter in Green Lantern? And I'm sorry to spoil this for all of you. By the end of the issue, I didn't feel that. Not at all. We go to the Controllers, which was the only thing that feels like, oh, okay, so this was something that we saw in Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps for a little bit. We go to the Controllers world where they're building a makeshift Yellow Lantern Hal Jordan, unless that's the one from the Dark Metal verse. I don't even know. I couldn't even tell. It was out there. They had the guy ripped open. They were going to stick this little power battery into him, and he's going to be like this big threat for Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns. So yeah, I will say Grant Morrison stuck to his word. No known Green Lanterns in the book whatsoever. No Carol. It is a Hal Jordan space cop book. He is no longer on Earth. He was on Earth in the beginning, or middle of the book, because the beginning of the book was an unknown Green Lantern that, trust me, won't matter, and you'll see why by the time we get to Hal Jordan's part. And he gets the power ring, he gets recharged. Conveniently, a lantern crashes on his world, and he goes off, fights some space pirate thing, goes to New Oa, and gets a new mission. And he's done. And this is going to be a Hal Jordan-specific book with no known lanterns. This book, and I've been reading Green Lantern since Rebirth. It was Rebirth, sorry. It wasn't Green Lantern Reborn. It was Green Lantern Rebirth. I don't think I'm going to be continuing Green Lantern. Not until Grant Morrison is off the book. Now, I loved Grant Morrison's Justice League of America run. And I think that is the only thing Grant Morrison has ever written that I enjoyed. And that includes getting the Astonishing X-Men book, which I started reading and then quickly fell out of after the first arc because I just wasn't interested anymore. So Grant Morrison is one for every single other book he's written. I have no idea how many other books he's written, but I only liked one series that Grant Morrison wrote. And I think he only wrote it for X amount of arcs and then he was gone. So I will give him credit where credit's due. His Justice League of America back in the 90s was great. This was not great. The artwork was good. It was psychedelic, but again, it's a Grant Morrison book. And I feel like taking all of the known lanterns out was one big mistake. And then the second thing was, it doesn't feel like it's connected to continuity at all. It feels like it's its own book, it's its own story, it's not even its own corner. Like, it's good when you say, oh, well, Hal Jordan, his own corner of the universe. The Justice League has Jon Stewart right now, so Jon Stewart's the Justice League Green Lantern. No, this book doesn't even feel like it belongs in the main DC universe. And when you sit down and really think about it, this book is main DC Universe Green Lantern, and it makes no sense. It doesn't continue from anywhere. It doesn't move forward from anywhere. Why is he not with Carol? He ended with, saying hi, with trying to get back together with Carol. Why do we not at least see what happened? Why did they break up? Why is he sleeping with this random girl, Viv, that's his girlfriend, but he's trapped on Earth and now he's not on Earth anymore and now he's gone. So obviously this girlfriend is done because he's not coming back to Earth anytime soon. So where's the hook for this book, Grant Morrison? What was I supposed to come away with this first issue? And DC Comics now, I gave you heat for giving Brian Michael Bendis all the Superman titles, which there's only 2, but giving basically Brian Michael Bendis full run on Superman. Every writer should only have one book of each franchise, just like Batman, and somebody else should be writing another. But that's an argument for a different time. But now you have Grant Morrison writing Green Lantern. And I don't think he has a clue about what's going on with Green Lantern. I think he has his story, and you're like, it's Grant Morrison, let's give him his story. And then I don't think you know where Green Lantern's going to go when Grant Morrison is done telling this story. And that's a problem. So, I mean, I don't know what's going on at DC lately. But when Rebirth came out, I was very happy with a lot of what DC was doing. I mean, and it didn't start with Brian Michael Bendis getting all of Superman either. There were little things here and there that I was not digging. The metal arc thing, I really wasn't digging too much. I know Brant loved it. No, not Brant. Somebody, yeah, did Brant like it? I think Brant, one of us liked it on Frontline. The rest of us didn't. Scott Snyder over-explaining things on Justice League, and then giving, like I said, Brian Michael Bendis full reign over all the Superman books for now, except for Scott Snyder's Superman with Justice League. And now you gave Grant... I feel like you got a lot of known names, and you're giving the known name writers reign without really truly thinking about the ramifications. Having Bendis do 2 arcs at the same time, plus Bendis has a ton of other books that he's going to be doing, 9 books altogether. I think that was an issue. Giving one writer 9 books is a bit much. Even if he says he can do it, you should have said no. And not only that, there should be 2 writers on Superman, not just 1. Now, Scott Snyder doing Justice League, and there's a lot of dialogue and over-explaining going on in Justice League. But now, the issue here, and what we're talking about in this review, is Green Lantern #1, giving Grant Morrison, a known name writer, another character who you just finished a great final arc with, and there's no continuity in this first issue. There's no hook in this issue. You know who's going to like this book, and I'm sure a few people are going to like this book. I'm not saying no one's going to like it. I know there are going to be a few people that like it. Both fans of Green Lantern and new ones. But I feel like this is catering to somebody who knows nothing of Green Lantern going into this book fresh, while still kind of being lost. I think new readers will maybe hook onto this more. Maybe not. This was an out there book for me, and I've been with Green Lantern since Jeff Johns through Rob Venditti, and this is the first time in history where I'm going to say I'm not continuing Green Lantern. I'm not continuing Grant Morrison's Green Lantern. I don't. There's nothing. I just don't feel a hook to it, and yeah. So I think I'm pretty done with Green Lantern right now. Maybe when Grant Morrison leaves the book, I will go back to it. But for right now, it's just way too out there for me. And yeah, I think I'm done. So my rating for this book definitely goes to like a 1, maybe a 1.5. I did not enjoy it. The artwork was okay, but the story itself, no, I can't. This was way out there, and there was no feeling of continuity whatsoever. I did not enjoy this book. DC, seriously, guys, you gotta start focusing on your books, or you're gonna start losing people left and you're losing books left and right already. So I leave it up to you guys. What did you think of Green Lantern issue 1? Did you like it? Didn't you like it? I'm sure somebody out there liked it. I'm sure there's a few people out there that liked it. What did you think? Let us know in the comments below, because I sure did not. And after watching Mike Spider Slayer's review and Cat Comic Uno's review, and we're all kind of saying the same thing, I'm led to believe there's something wrong. But, like I said, there's somebody out there that likes it, so let me know what you think of Green Lantern. Let us know over on Comic Frontline what you thought of Green Lantern's #1. But until Grant Morrison's done with this book, I'm taking my Green Lantern ring, and I'm hanging it up. So till the next review, everybody, as always, go check out the Comic Frontline Discord if you haven't already. Feel free to comment your thoughts on this video. We have a live show every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern. We also have Media Madness, and we have and Zone 4 every. Media Madness is throughout, it could be any day during the week, and Fridays is Zone 4. Till next time, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I will see you all in the next video. Maybe I'll join the Sinestro Corps for a time. I hear Ceramic is doing a good job.